So moving on, we got your guy's favorite Danaher. He talks about the new wave jiu-jitsu lineup for CJI. Let's see what he's got to say. He says Gordon Ryan is very sick at this point, so I don't believe he'll be competing again. Dang, that's really sad. He's young. Nicholas Margali is very badly injured. He tore his shoulder. His first shoulder surgery was not as successful as people were hoping for. So he had to do a second shoulder surgery. So he definitely won't be ready in time. Oh, that's sad, bro. You know, even if you don't like these guys, you know, they're good competitors. You know, people are excited to watch them. They bring in numbers, and skill wise, you know, they're the most skilled guys. Gi and Nogi, they're like the most skilled guys. You know, the last decade probably, definitely the last 5 years. So those two are simply not here or not there. So that kind of makes some of the decisions easier. We only really have one remaining heavyweight, and that's Big Dan. So that's an obvious choice. Luke is our only 99 kilogram fighter, so Luke Griffith will be an obvious choice. With the under and over 99 categories filled, Danaher had clear preferences for the next two divisions as well, under 88 and under 66. Let's see. Giancarlo, of course, would be the prime choice at middleweight. I believe Dorian Olivares would be an amazing addition at 66 kilograms. I think his particular style of jiu-jitsu, basically wrestling, is extremely well suited to the CJI event. He'd be a natural pick. That leaves one open slot at 77 kilograms. He says 77 would be the most difficult one because you have Oliver Taza, you have Davis Asari, shout out to him. You have Isaac Michel and Jason Nolf, and possibly a draft pick, the wild card draft. Jason Nolf can't be there. I mean, I like him, but he shouldn't be there. I guess I'm speculating here, but I guess we'd have to have an internal trial in the gym because all of them want to go. The only thing is, I don't like that idea because I've seen that happen. And sometimes the guys in the gym don't perform in the tournament. So I prefer doing like a qualification period. So have everybody competing, and whoever wins the most prestigious tournament, be that a Nogi Worlds, well, it'll be before Nogi Worlds. It could be, well, dang, there's no more other tournaments. Yeah, there's no other tournaments before. There's just no time because this is probably going to be in August, I believe, September. They got no choice. Yeah, well, I would see who's competing the best leading up to the tournament. You know, who's obviously outputting more, who's looks to be growing, and just make that judgment that way. So I think we got a graphic for that. It says 66 Dorian Olivares, 77 they might go from a trials winner. I'm not sure if they're going to do ADCC trial or the in-house trial, so that would be pretty interesting. 88 Giancarlo, Luke Griffith, 99 plus Dan. So they should be okay with the bigger dudes. You know, these guys did pretty well. ADCC, Giancarlo won ADCC. 77 they got a ton of people, and then 66 they got Dorian Olivares, who won trials, and he's beat some good people too. So you know, you can't go wrong with those guys. Let's see. Keith Krikorian says Nolf should be considered at 77 as well. Yeah, I mean, he's good, but then, you know, the whole ground thing, he ain't going to pass nobody's guard, you know. But he can wrestle pretty well. It's just once he gets in those leg locks, I think that's it. Someone says Gordon isn't going to like this. He's probably making a 3-paragraph rant with like 700 misspells. Yep. The internal trials beats out most of the Who's Number One cards. Better be streamed. That might be true. Lackland trials. You could throw Helen in there. Throw Helena in there. No one said he had to be just guys, right? It could be girls in there. There's something that we don't know about the rules yet because Dorian's style is atrocious for a traditional quintet. Oh, yeah, it is quintet. What do you mean? The lack of subs? Against top competition? Yes. That said, I love Dorian's style and don't like traditional quintet. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of quintet. Do you guys like quintet? I'm not the biggest fan of it. See you in Vegas, boys. That said B team. Let's see. Where's Isaac Michelle in all this? So in other posts they said Isaac. Let's look back. Who would be there? Yeah, they said Oliver Taza, Davis Asari, Isaac Michelle, and Jason Nolf. Possibly Gary Tonin or someone. I don't know. Man. They can't go wrong. They got 4 out of the 5, right? Wasn't it 5 weight classes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 4 out of the 5. Okay. 77. Throw, whatever. And on Reddit, they say the same thing. Basically the same thing. Someone said, can Luke Griffith still cut the 99? Yeah, he's not naturally that big, but now he's big. He said, I've seen Giancarlo in real life, and it's insane he can cut the 88 in the first place. Dude is massive in person. Yeah, he always had a big frame. Someone says that who's number 1? He was stated to be 5'11 and 205 pounds. I don't think that sounded that insane. Granted, I've never seen him in the flesh. Someone said, ain't no way he's 5'11. I'm 6 foot, and he's significantly taller than me. 6'1", 6'2 minimum. Maybe you're not really 5'11, bro. Giancarlo is pretty tall, though. That seems off. I'm 5'10-ish, and he's still a few inches taller than me. I'd say 6'1 minimum if I had to guess. Big old boy. Someone said Taza is forever a junior. Honestly surprised he hasn't switched to a team that gives a care about him. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to stand out in a team studded with all-stars. It's just really hard to do that. Yo, Jason, how's it going, bro? Taza is the most loyal customer I've ever seen. Homie probably has paid more for jiu-jitsu than he's earned. He's probably paid more for jiu-jitsu than he's earned from at this point. You know what? I think about Taza, and his resilience is very commendable. Because all these other guys, they win stuff, and then, like take Giancarlo. He won his first ADCC. I'm not saying he hasn't gone through trials and tribulations, but he ain't gone through nothing near what Taza's gone through. Getting so close to winning and, coming up short. And for me, I think that's more important than winning. I hate to say that. I know obviously he wants to be a world champion. He wants to win ADCC and all these tournaments, but just seeing him continue to fight is more inspiring than these guys that win ADCC first time. And that's kind of it. It's just, we expect those guys to win. We expect Gordon to win. We expect Nicholas Mergali to win. We expect Giancarlo to win. And now we kind of expect Big Dan and Luke Griffith to do, they're always going to do well. But for Taza, he's fighting the best guys. He's not ducking anybody, and he puts his heart out. So Taza, if you're watching this, man, respect to you, bro. These other guys can take the fast route, the quick and easy route through to win. But I feel like he's kind of stayed the course. He stayed honest to himself. And, we respect that. People are watching you, and we respect what you've done. Jason says Dorian has been working hard on his subs since going to New Wave. I saw a video of him giving Gordon hell from Turtle rounds. Yo, I mean, he's tough. He had a really good match. Who did he have a good match with? Was it Luke Griffith he fought? Some tall guy. He fought someone at like ADCC Open, and man, it was like a good match. And sometimes it's hard to change your style. I feel like if you change his style too much to very submission oriented, it might kind of mess up his wrestle jitsu. So remember, there's always going to be a give and take. Usually, you got to give something up to gain something in that case. So he might lose his positional awareness going for submissions, or he might slow down his pace so he can get more submissions, which might make him perform worse. Obviously he's still young, so he can grow. So I'm always careful when there's a big change. I think he won trials a year or two ago. I'm always careful when you try to change an athlete's game too much. I feel like it might hinder them versus kind of play more to their strengths, kind of like a Nicky Rod kind of game. Of course, he's not submission oriented, right? But he's evolved his game a lot. So we'll see. I think that's all I can say is that we'll see. Someone says the most interesting quote in this article is about Gordon how Gordon may never compete again. So that's the price Gordon has to pay. So for all that skill and all that ability and all that winning, he has to pay for it now. So um, that's why I'm a big fan of Taza. He's been paying the price. The price has been coming up short and fighting the best guys and maybe not performing the way he wanted to, but he might have more longevity in the game. That's the name of the game, guys. Longevity. Let's see. Should be Isaac Michelle for B team drama. Oh, I think they're cool now, and Taza can't afford to be demoted anymore. Let's see. Gordon's retired now. I don't think he's retired, but definitely for him to come out to fight somebody, he's got to get paid a lot of money. He's not even 30 years old. Crazy. Well, a lot of mileage. Gordon is on the John Jones retirement program. He'll come back if the money is right. He's not competing for small money, and splitting $1 million five ways isn't going to do it. What's 1 million divided by 5, guys? $200,000? No, that can't be right. I'm trying to do some math. I can't even get into my phone. Jason, what's 1 million divided by 5? Can you guys see? Let's see. 1 million divided by 5. Oh, I was right. It is 200,000. You guys see? So you make $200,000. Let's go ahead and take the taxes out. Let's just give it 15%. I'm gonna be nice. 0.15. So $30,000. It's $200,000 minus $30,000. Dang. So let's see, they might take home, can you guys see, 170K. So I did a 15% tax, could be up to 30% in, California or somewhere. Let's say 15%. So I'm going to give them 170 to take home. That's not bad. 170? Yo, some people don't make that in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. 170 is not bad. 170? I mean, you might get your leg broken. And you might have to sacrifice some of your lifespan, but that 170, I mean, honestly, that is kind of sad. So people went from $1 million to like, dang, you should have won that first CJI. Now you get him 170. Dang it, that sucks. Oh, that does suck. That $1 million that from the first CJI was good. And now they got you making less money, and it's a less exciting format. Jason, you looking forward to that quintet? I don't really care for quintets, bro. I don't really care for it. I want to see something new. I mean, the first CJI was new. It had the pit. You had the new scoring. You had the MMA scoring. What else did you have? You had it was on streamed on YouTube for free. You had crazy super fights with Gabby versus Craig, and you had really good McKenzie versus Fionn. That was awesome. And I just like the tournament format because there's only one champion, right? At the end of the day. But quintet, it's messier, right? It's not simple. They're complicating it. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's my issue. They're complicating it. So in trying to spread out the money and draw more people, they're actually complicating it, because when there's a tournament bracket, okay, this person wins, that person beat that person, he wins, he moves on. Okay, awesome. Everybody understands that. Quintet, I don't even know the rules of quintet. There's so many different rules with quintet. I don't know what's going to happen. So I feel like you should simplify it. And you know what I think about? Jason says, I do like quintet if you let them all fight at the same time in the pit. That's some Russian stuff. But bro, listen, Russia, they at least try different things. They'll do the quintet with 5-on-5 and all right, guys, go at it. Am I saying that will work out? Maybe not. Maybe they could do the tag. We watched one of the videos where they did like the tag in, tag out. That would be cool. I just think that this is a time to try something cool. Bring something new to the sport. Quintet is not new. Quintet itself would barely survive. Nobody watches Quintet. Yeah, I would like to see something, just new and exciting. Maybe do a mixed team, girl and guy team. That would be kind of cool. So you have, I don't know how they could do it. They could figure it out. I'm not Craig Jones. He can figure it out. Someone says Danaher actually said he has doubts Gordon will compete again. That's the first time I've heard him say that. Well, I mean, yeah. I think he will go. I think he will, but easy super. Everything's been easy super fights so far. If he can't even do the easy super fights anymore. I don't blame Gordon, as it's clear his health is not good at all, and he struggled at ADCC. He won't want to fight someone he knows he can't beat unless he's 100%. Someone says it's a great team. That this CJI will be awesome. Not a fan of the wild card stuff though. They kind of need the wild card stuff because we're getting tired of the same people. It's the same people, the same names, the same people that's been around. And that a lot of that's because the marketing, Flow Grappling's team is small. IBJJF's team is small. Everybody's marketing team is small. So, if you have one guy, he can only go to a few places and talk to a few athletes versus having a full team that can interview. Honestly, they should be interviewing athletes at all levels. You should be interviewing the kids. You should be interviewing up and coming purple belts. You should be interviewing the brown belts that are establishing themselves. You should be interviewing the kids in Brazil, kids in America, kids in Europe. You should be interviewing the guys that are the old guys. You should be interviewing the new top stars. You should be interviewing like the guys that are almost making it but not there yet. So right now we're limited because the marketing teams are usually smaller, and then they can only get to a few athletes. So that means that only a few athletes get on the card, and then there's not really room for the people that might be good but just not as well known. So that's what the wild card is for. Someone says, yeah, it's honestly confusing to me. Initially, I thought it meant your team could draft someone from another team, but now I understand it's just anyone you want. I still don't get it. So there we go. Quintet. When people on Reddit don't understand it, that's it. Nobody in the general sphere is going to understand it. He says, I think it's just to be decided. Yeah, it just means one person on your team doesn't have to be from your team, your school. Not all schools have someone competitive at each weight class. Okay, so they can draft that person if they... So 77, they don't have anyone at actually, they got too many people at New Wave. But someone could take one of the New Wave guys and put them on their team. And someone says it's a free agent spot. Wild card is a dumb name. Every team gets a free agent that's not from their team. Yeah, but I find it very weird to have AOJ guys being free agents. They have what it takes to be a real team going on. I would unironically prefer an AOJ team than an Atos one. Well, why can't they have both? Fair, but they aren't fielding a team. They are free agents, wild cards. Why can't they field a team? They got everybody in those weight classes. So it says, Gary really gonna do this after saying he'd never participate in anything related to Craig. I brought up Tonin as I saw his name here. Gary's okay, well, can't read that. Yeah, I feel like AOJ and Otto should both have their own teams. They should go for maximum drama. You know what? It should be more of a drama, not, even UFC focuses more on the drama now. They don't focus on the actual competition. They do focus on the fights, but outside the fights is all about drama. And I blame Conor McGregor for that.